How can my family truly transform its health? That question keeps circling in my mind, and that's where everything began. After studying Saint Hildegard's approach to health, we began to see health in a different way. We understood that food is the foundation. For Saint Hildegard, food is our first medicine. And little by little, life led us to apply those principles from the ground up. That is how we started growing our food. In this video, we will share why and how the process unfolds. And as we move forward, something deeper starts showing itself. We already knew the idea of Viriditas, but our garden revealed it without words. In Hildegard tradition, life is carried by Viriditas, the vital force behind everything that grows. We start to see that force in our own backyard, and we understand in a completely new way, the practical way. At Salintus Health, we want to help you improve your well being from every angle and with tools that your whole family can use so that you can create real change together in community. This garden brought us together and also brought two paths that we already were living in our family. The importance of knowing where our food came from. For years, we had been buying everything at local farmers market. We keep on inviting friends for them to check over and see the difference. And also the medicine of St. Hildegard, which has helped us in so many ways and opened the door to restoring our health in a deep and meaningful way. Part of this journey began when we connected with Catholic Land Movement, a community encouraging families to be more autonomous, to shifting from consumers and becoming producers. Their vision inspired us to take a real step toward that change, starting with our own backyard. We had the blessing of having the right directions, the guidance from someone that already knew the process, and all that shared knowledge inspired us even more. We were seeking autonomy, the autonomy that came from knowledge and practice, from learning by doing, from living in community, and knowing when to ask for help. Our children planted all the seeds, but they were guided by a friend who knows everything about gardening. We didn't have a clue. She taught us where to plant, how to do it, and how to move the seedlings when they were ready. This process shows us that health is also learned with our hands, through experience, and through the people around us. We started with excitement, but also there were many challenges. The space was small, there was too much shade, and the soil wasn't great. But even though we decided to continue, from the beginning, we realized, like as anything in life, balance matters. Light, air, space, time, everything needs to be balanced for the plants to grow. Same as Hildegard was mentioning, that all the internal elements in our body need to be in balance so that we could be healthy. To give you an example, the zucchinis grew well at first, but the lack of sunlight and low nutrition soil began to weaken them. So I decided to transplant them. It wasn't easy as I expected. In fact, once I did, they started to decline. At that moment, I thought about giving up. The challenges were not only in the soil, they were also within me. The garden helped us all in the family to understand and to try to live in the rhythm of ora labora. Many days we found ourselves fully absorbed in the garden, and later realizing that we had lost our balance. We had to step back, rethink, and adjust our time and pace. We learned that even the things that connect us with life need measure and pause. This shows us that balance isn't something you reach once, it's something you practice every day. And like any process in life, this one asks us to grow in virtue. We learn another key idea of Hildegard tradition, working in virtue to grow in well being. We had to practice patience, perseverance, self control, and above all, the humility to admit how much we still had to learn. Instead of stopping, something shifted. Our oldest daughter began to research. She learned about natural fertilizers, about the role of nitrogen in the soil, and little by little she inspired us all again. We understand how our plants were lacking and what we're truly needing. Curiosity opened a new path. With our daughter, all the children start researching about how to do more natural fertilizers. They have ideas, they plan, they execute. And we can see life happening under the soil, the invisible but essential Viriditas. Our younger daughters keep an eye on the weeds. Every seed was planted by our kids' hand, so they have a sense of belonging. And every time we work in the garden, they end up covered in dirt, playing, exploring, and learning. The garden became a place of movement, joy, and discovery, all things that also nourish our health, our inner health. As part of a homeschooling community, a homeschooling family, allowing them to play with dirt, it was one of my biggest challenge, but the garden allowed me to do it, to make it happen. But there were some losses too. The first cucumbers and beans that start growing were eaten by animals. Nothing was perfect, but everything taught us something. We accept that life brings challenges and each loss also teach. Today the plants are growing, and so are we. This garden is not only teaching us how to grow food, it's teaching us how to grow knowledge, patience, and how to grow as a family. In every stage, we saw principles about Hildegard medicine, balance, measure, order, joy, connection with creation, and growing in virtue. I had found myself many days contemplating the plants, day and night. Actually, it's my favorite place to start my morning prayer. This is our story. This is the story of our garden, and this is Salintus Health. It's a space where we learn, share, and grow together. Because improving health isn't an isolated change, it's a full process, lived in community. In the end, this garden brought us more than the joy of watching something grow each day. It brought us community, trust, family, unity, perseverance, and so much more. And it had strengthened our desire to share Saint Hildegard medicine with many others, because it has restored our health and our life in a profound way. And that is what we want to share with you.